by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Thank you to the Miramar Honor Guard and Army Sergeant Mervyn Lenore for opening our ceremony. What a beautiful voice. It is my honor to introduce our first distinguished guest speaker this morning. Colonel Rich Georgi retired from the Army in 2008 after serving 22 years of active duty and 8 reserve years.
The last 12 years that we've been fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, approximately 2.1 million service members have served in theater and fought the fight. 2.1 million. Now, if you've got 316 million in the nation, that comes out to less than 1% of our population has fought the fight. Now, add to that 1% their immediate family members. Let's bump it up, say, to 5%. The 1% of the population is doing the fighting. The additional 5% of their family members are missing them and suffering the hardships and the sacrifices. The way that the Department of Defense has compensated for the lack of a draft and a steady influx from 2001 until the economy collapsed in 2008, they had to revert to something called stop loss. And for those of you that are recent service members, you know what stop loss is. This was where a service member in Iraq or Afghanistan, his enlistment date came up and was over, and the Army said, no, we've got to delay that. And they would, for over a year, sometimes, these service members would be extended on active duty until they could replace them. Efficient, but painful and hard on those soldiers. The second thing they did was the repeat deployments. For the last 12 years, our service members, they don't know whether they're coming or going. They're just going and coming and going and coming back and forth from the war theaters. So it's been a painful 12 years for anybody that's been active duty recently. I would encourage all of you to go out, spread the word about military service, and to yourselves join some organization that benefits veterans in some way. And to the veterans in the audience, thank you again for your honorable service. To the rest of you, thank you for coming and recognizing me.
Our second guest speaker sheds light on what it's like to be a military spouse. These are the unspoken heroes who hold down the fort at home while their loved one is serving our country. Shelley Kimball was selected as the 2013 Armed Forces Insurance Coast Guard Spouse of the Year.
I met my husband, I fell in love, and I chose to live this life of both pride and sacrifice to help further his determination to live a life of service and duty. So now I stand before you, one of the 1.1 million military spouses in this country. We move a lot. For us, for our family, it's about every 3 years. And when you think of that, 3 years seems like a pretty good block of time, but for us it goes by in a flash. Year 1 is just the adjustment year. During that first year, we also spent a lot of time finding the pediatricians, the dentists, the hairstylists, the schools for our children, the grocery stores, making our place. By year 2, we hit our stride. That's when the boxes are unpacked, we know how to drive home, we recognize where we are in this community, and we have a place. Year 3 is a transition year. That's where my family and I are now. We've been in Miramar now for over 2 years. We're finishing out our 3rd year this summer. And this is when we start thinking about packing it all up again. Their children are strong, they're independent, they can make friends in a heartbeat, they're empathetic, they're globally minded. There is no way better to teach children about honor, respect, dignity, and service than to live it. the community, those of you who are here, those of you who live among us, you form the foundation of success for our families and by extension to those active duty members who serve here in this community. Honoring us today, both our esteemed veterans and the family members who stand with them shows me that we truly are a part of the community that makes up Miramar. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the City of Miramar, thank you all for participating in today's ceremony. I would like to have my fellow commissioners join me in a ceremonial yellow ribbon honoring American heroes and our veterans ceremony.
It's great to be here as we honor our veterans. We certainly appreciate their service. We recognize that we all are not going to serve, but we want to support those who have served, those who are currently serving in the armed forces. It's so important to guarantee our freedoms here in the United States, and they're deployed all over the world guaranteeing freedoms in other countries as well. So as we're here today to celebrate Veterans Day, let's not forget them any other day either. And let's always honor our vets in our community as well as outside of our community. Many of us have been touched by folks, maybe family members, neighbors and loved ones who are in the military and who have served. Many have given their lives. We want to always remember their sacrifice. It was by choice, but they've sacrificed their lives so that other lives can be more prosperous and be better. Thank you so much, and hope to see you here at another Veterans Day event at our Veterans Park here in the City of Miramar.
I'm the commanding officer of Coast Guard Air Station Miami in Opelika, Florida. My wife, Shelly, and I live in the City of Miramar with our two kids, Joey and Gracie. It's a wonderful ceremony today here at Veterans Park in Miramar. A nice outpouring of compassion and respect for the members of the military who've served and who are currently serving by the City of Miramar.
Today we give special tribute and honors to those brave men and women who have sacrificed their lives for us to save, to serve, and to defend our freedom. We thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we are so grateful for you. God bless.
I think it's a real pleasure to be here today and honor and to recognize the men and women of our armed services as well as our veterans that have served past and present and tomorrow's veterans. We have a number of officers, men and women who have served or are in active duty in our police department, and it's really important that we recognize, as you have heard some of the comments today, not just today being Veterans Day, but throughout the year, that we as a community are continuing to support our men and women in our armed services for their day-to-day sacrifices, both for the officers and men serving at home and abroad, as well as the families that are there supporting them as well. So thank you very much, and this was a wonderful opportunity to be here today.
I try to come to all of the Veterans Day ceremonies here at Veterans Park in Miramar. The reason why I do that is because I'm very thankful for the service that our veterans have provided, and to ensure our freedom, and not just of Americans, but also citizens throughout the world. And for that, I appreciate that very much, and I also am very thankful for their service.
I'm a Korean War veteran, one forgotten war vet, but I was on the ship. We escorted the first convoy into Korea. And we went up the Inchon River, and at one time we come out and we was bombarding with our 8mm gun. And I also got extended 1 year, the same as some of the Vietnam and other servicemen did. And I enjoyed serving my country. A little girl and a mother in front of me, and I believe they were Spanish. And they turned around and asked me if I was a veteran. I said yes. They handed me a card for my service and kind of set me off. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And let us never forget, just because today is Veterans Day, let us not forget the 364 days of the rest of the year. And remember to thank those who have served and the sacrifice that not only they, but their families, and what an important part of the patchwork quilt that they make here in the city of Miramar. And to all of the families and those serving and those who are no longer in active duty, God bless you.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave their right to me. And I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.